There is contact, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And it looks like somebody's banging on the door. All right. Sir, could you tell me your name?
Jesus Colon.
Mr. Colon, you are arrested for aggravated battery on a pregnant person. I do find probable cause for your arrest. I will temporarily appoint the public defender to represent you. I'm looking at the paperwork. It appears he qualifies for pretrial release.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. And we also have someone that wishes to be heard. Ma'am, could you raise your right hand to be sworn?
Maybe she also needs the interpreter?
Do you need, she may also need the interpreter. I don't know how we will accommodate that.
We have it here.
So that you'll have to come through the speakers rather than the headset.
Okay.
All right? Ma'am, could you raise your right hand to be sworn?
Señora, por favor, levante la mano derecha para prestar juramento.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Jura y promete que el testimonio que va a prestar será la verdad, solamente la verdad y nada más que la verdad. ¿Lo jura ante Dios?
You need to answer out loud.
Señora, tiene que contestar en voz alta.
Okay.
You're going to have to speak louder.
Hable más alto, por favor.
Sí.
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down.
Puede bajar la mano.
Tell me your name.
Señora, por favor, dígame su nombre.
Milena.
Milena.
And what is your last name?
¿Y cuál es su apellido?
Bolívar.
Bolívar.
And how old are you?
¿Qué edad tiene usted?
32.
32 years old.
And is there something that you want to tell me?
¿Hay algo que usted desea decirme?
¿De qué?
You're going to have to speak up or the interpreter cannot hear you.
Señora, tiene que hablar en voz alta para que el intérprete la escuche.
Sí.
Yes.
All right, you can tell me what you like to tell me.
Dígame entonces lo que desea decir.
Mi esposo y yo, mi esposo Jesús Colón y yo, llevamos 5 años casados y en estos momentos estamos pasando una situación un poco dura porque él se quedó desempleado, yo dejé de trabajar y debido a todo eso hemos tenido mucho estrés.
My husband and I, my husband Jesus Colon, we have been married for 5 years. Right now we are in a hard place because he became unemployed and I stopped working. So there is a lot of stress.
Is there anything else you wish to tell me?
¿Algo más que desee decirme, señora?
Sí.
Yes.
You may continue.
Continúe.
Mi esposo nunca ha sido pues así con lo que sucedió. Siempre la hemos llevado bien. Lo que pasa es por todo lo que está sucediendo, el embarazo, yo no pude seguir trabajando y él quedó con toda la responsabilidad y debido a eso ha estado un poco estresado.
Well, my husband, he has never acted like that before. What is going on with him is what is going on because we usually get along. Since I got pregnant, I have not been able to work and he has taken on all of the burden of the house. And that has made him very stressful.
State, do you have any questions?
Fiscalía, ¿tiene alguna pregunta?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sí.
Sí, su señoría.
I just have a few questions. Has anything like this happened in the past?
Solo tengo algunas preguntas. ¿Algo como esto había ocurrido antes?
Are you afraid of the defendant?
Well,
¿Le teme usted al acusado?
No.
No.
Would you like to have the defendant be allowed contact with you while the case is pending?
¿Desea usted que se le permita al acusado tener contacto con usted mientras el caso está abierto?
Sí.
Yes.
If the defendant was allowed to have no contact with you, do you believe that they would cause you any injury?
Si se le prohibiera al acusado tener contacto con usted, ¿usted pensaría que él podría causarle alguna lesión?
No.
No.
If the defendant was allowed to have no hostile contact with you, do you believe that the defendant would cause you any harm or cause your children any harm?
Señora, si al acusado se le permitiera tener contacto con usted, pero prohibiendo el contacto hostil entre ambos, ¿cree usted que él representaría algún peligro para usted o para sus hijos?
No.
No.
Would you call the police or 911 if any violence happened in the future?
Si en el futuro volviese a ocurrir algún incidente violento, ¿llamaría usted a la policía o al 911?
Sí.
Yes.
Your Honor, the state has no other questions, but at this time,
Hold on.
yes.
Let me see if the defense has any questions.
Okay.
Su señoría, la fiscalía no tiene más preguntas en estos momentos. Un momento, déjeme ver si la defensa tiene alguna pregunta. ¿Defensa tiene alguna pregunta? No.
No questions from the defense.
No hay preguntas de parte de la defensa.
All right, let me hear from the state with regard to the matter of release.
Your Honor,
Muy bien, entonces, por favor, la fiscalía exprésese en relación al asunto de la puesta en libertad del acusado.
Your Honor, based on the testimony of the witness, the state would leave the decision in the discretion of the court.
Muy bien, su señoría, debido al testimonio de la supuesta víctima, la fiscalía deja en manos de su señoría la decisión.
Defense?
Your Honor, it's a second-degree felony. He's entitled to a bond. It appears that he qualifies for pretrial release, and according to his face sheet, it doesn't look like he has any criminal history. Defense would be asking for pretrial release. And given the alleged victim's testimony that she is not afraid with the accused and that she would like to live with him, and that she would reach out to police if anything like this were to happen again, the defense would be asking for no hostile contact and him be allowed to return to the residence.
Sí, su señoría, debido a que nos encontramos ante un delito de segundo grado y que el acusado cumple con los requisitos, ya bien sea para que se le conceda una fianza o para que se le permita participar del programa de libertad provisional, y que la víctima ha dicho que no le teme y que desea que él regrese al hogar y que no y que sí llamaría a la policía si vuelve a ocurrir algún incidente, nosotros estamos solicitando que se permita el contacto entre ellos, pero sin hostilidades, y que se le conceda participar del programa de libertad provisional.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Sir, I will release you on pretrial release with the following conditions.
Señor, usted será puesto en libertad como parte del programa de libertad provisional bajo las siguientes condiciones.
You will have no hostile contact whatsoever with the alleged victim.
Se le prohíbe las hostilidades de todo tipo con la supuesta víctima.
And when I say no hostile contact, that's what I mean. You can't even argue.
Y cuando yo digo que se prohíben las hostilidades, a eso me refiero. No podrán ni siquiera discutir.
You cannot raise your voice to her.
No le podrá levantar la voz.
And you certainly can't put your hands on her without her consent.
Y definitivamente no puede ponerle las manos encima sin el consentimiento de ella.
If you violate any of these, you'll end up back in jail.
Si usted incumple con alguna de estas condiciones, regresará a la cárcel.
During the time that you're out on pretrial release, you will consume no alcohol.
Durante el tiempo que se encuentre usted en libertad, bajo libertad provisional, se le prohíbe el consumo de alcohol.
Are there any other conditions of release requested by the state?
¿La fiscalía solicita alguna otra condición de la libertad provisional?
No, Your Honor.
No, su señoría.
Or any others suggested by pretrial release?
¿O alguna otra sugerencia?
All right, does anyone have any questions?
Muy bien, ¿alguien tiene alguna pregunta?
All right. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Muy bien, gracias, que tenga buen día.
Next is, oh, he's coming. Sir, could you tell me your name? Oh, sorry. Take a moment to put the headset on. Sir, could you tell me your name?
Adolfo Jack. Yes, please.
Sir, you have been arrested for domestic violence battery. I do find probable cause for your arrest. It appears that we have somebody that wishes to be heard, and I will hear from her in just a moment. You are entitled to a bond or other conditions of release. However, you do not qualify for pretrial release. Madam Interpreter, I don't know if the witness needs an interpreter. Ma'am, do you need an interpreter?
Señora, ¿necesita usted un intérprete?
You're going to have to answer out loud.
Señora, tendrá que contestar en voz alta. I'm sorry, I would like to say something. The thing is that she speaks very little Spanish.
What language does she speak?
Ella habla caché igual que yo, entonces, que las cosas así sucedió. Ella no me golpeó.
She speaks Akche just as I do. This is what happened. She didn't hit me.
Okay, you don't want to tell me the facts of the case because that's not why we're here.
Perfect.
All right. Ma'am, can you understand the interpreter?
Señora, ¿usted entiende a la intérprete?
Apparently not. Yeah. You need to come closer to the microphone and speak up, please.
Señora, por favor, acérquese al micrófono y hable en voz alta.
You can pull it down toward you if that will help.
Puede acercarlo a usted si eso le ayuda.
Could you tell me your name?
Señora, dígame su nombre, por favor.
Lubia,
Rubial.
Lubia,
Your Honor, I can barely hear her.
Ma'am, you're going to have to speak louder.
Señora, tendrá que hablar aún más alto.
Lubia,
Lubia.
And what is your last name?
¿Y cuál es su apellido?
Kul,
Chakchul.
Kul.
Cool.
Is there something you want to tell me?
Señora, ¿hay algo que usted desea decirme?
Solo vengo por Adolfo y yo voy a decir que voy a perdonar a él.
I just want to say that I forgive him.
Are you afraid of him?
¿Usted le teme?
No entiendo mucho español, yo hablo quichí.
I don't understand Spanish very well. I speak Kachi.
All right. Do you live in the same house as he lives?
¿Ustedes viven en la misma casa?
Sí, él es mi marido.
Yes, he is my husband.
And do you want to live with him again?
¿Usted desea seguir viviendo con él?
Sí, lo voy a perdonar a él.
Yes, I forgive him.
Are you frightened of him?
¿Usted le teme? Your Honor, may I ask the question with using other words that
Please.
she might understand?
Yes. Thank you.
Señora, ¿usted le tiene miedo a él?
No porque ando tomando, por eso pasó y ahorita ya yo creo que no va a volver a hacer. No tengo miedo.
No, I don't fear him. This happened because we were drinking, but I don't think he will drink again.
Okay. State, do you have any questions?
Fiscalía, ¿tiene usted alguna pregunta?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
No, su señoría.
Defense, do you have any questions?
No additional
Defensa,
questions.
la defensa tiene algunas preguntas. No tenemos más preguntas.
Then I will set bond in the amount of $500
Muy bien, entonces se fija fianza en $500
with the following conditions.
con las siguientes condiciones.
Y él puede pagar solo y yo voy a pagar.
I will pay.
I'm going to order that Mr. Yakov have no hostile contact with the alleged victim.
Se prohíbe la hostilidad entre las partes. Al señor Jack se le prohíbe actuar de manera hostil en contra de la supuesta víctima.
That he consume no alcohol while out on bond.
Mientras se encuentre libre bajo fianza, se le prohíbe el consumo de alcohol.
And sir, when I say no hostile contact, this is what I mean.
Y señor, cuando yo digo que se prohíbe la hostilidad entre ustedes, a esto me refiero.
You may not argue with her.
No podrán discutir,
You may not raise your voice at her.
no le podrá levantar la voz.
And you certainly cannot touch her without her permission.
Y definitivamente le está prohibido tocarla sin el consentimiento de ella.
If you feel yourself getting aggravated, you need to leave.
Señor, si usted siente que se está enojando, necesita salir.
Do you understand?
¿Eso lo entiende?
Are there any other conditions of release requested by the state?
No, Your Honor, not at this time.
¿La fiscalía ha solicitado alguna otra condición de la libertad? No en estos momentos.
Anybody defend?
Your Honor, would he qualify for pretrial release now that he doesn't need an alternative address? He only has one prior no valid.
¿La defensa tiene alguna pregunta? Sí, su señoría. Él solamente tiene un antecedente. ¿Cualificaría él ahora para la libertad provisional ya que tiene la dirección adicional?
According to free trial, it wasn't that. It's just that he needed more information. He didn't know his current address, and he was unable to verify community ties for the defendant.
Lo que sucede es que él no conocía cuál era la dirección actualizada y no pudimos verificar los lazos con la comunidad.
And the victim didn't know the address at the time upon calling.
En el momento le indicó que no conocía la dirección.
I will authorize release on pretrial release if he qualifies.
Thank you.
Yo autorizaré que él sea puesto en libertad bajo el programa de libertad provisional si cumple con los requisitos.
If he does qualify for PTR, the conditions will be the same as those that I previously announced.
Si él cumple con los requisitos de la libertad provisional, las condiciones serán las mismas que ya se habían establecido.
I will temporarily appoint the public defender to represent him.
Se designa un abogado de oficio para que les represente de manera provisional.
Thank you, sir.
Gracias, señor.
Thank you, ma'am.
Gracias, señora.
Sir, could you tell me your name?
Jenny Nieves.
Mr. Nieves, you were arrested on an outstanding warrant for failure to appear on a petty theft charge. The judge set a $250 bond on that warrant. I will temporarily appoint the public defender to represent you. Do you have any questions, sir?
Yes, I don't remember the details of the case because I wasn't in my right mind.
And we're not here to discuss the details of your case. You simply failed to appear, and the judge that is assigned to your case issued a warrant.
Well, if I'm in the wrong, I'm in the wrong.
All right. Have a good day, sir.
Okay.
Could you tell me your name?
Lucio Gualberto Canterero.
What happened? Oh, sorry. Sir, you were arrested on an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County. Bond was set in the amount of $5,000 by Judge Schott on that out-of-county warrant. I will temporarily appoint the public defender to represent you while you're in the Orange County Jail. Do you have any questions?
No.
Thank you. Have a good day. Could you tell me your name?
Maria Fatima Silva.
Ms. Silva, you were arrested for violating a probation that originated in a county other than Orange County. And you are alleged to have violated that probation by committing a new offense. No bond is set. I do find probable cause for your arrest, and no bond is set. I will temporarily appoint the public defender to represent you on both cases while you're in the Orange County Jail. Do you have any questions?
No.
Thank you. Have a good day. Ma'am, could you tell me your name?
Jahaira Colon Torres.
Ma'am, you were arrested on 2 cases. You were arrested for driving while license revoked as an habitual offender. I do find probable cause for your arrest in that matter and state bond in the amount of $2,500. You are also arrested for violating your probation. No bond is set on the violation of probation. I will temporarily appoint the public defender to represent you in both of these matters. Do you have any questions?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can.
Do I have a bond or not?
You do not have a bond on the violation of probation.
So what would I have to do?
That violation of probation you'll either have to have your attorney have a bond hearing and the judge set a bond, or that violation of probation will need to be resolved.
It's fine.
All right, have a good day. Okay, I believe that is all of the Spanish cases.
Would the interpreter be needed for any of the witnesses?
Can you make an announcement?
¿Alguna de los testigos que se encuentran en la sala necesita los servicios del intérprete al español?
Oh, hold on, they can't hear. No? None of them do. Thank you, Madam
you, Your Honor.
Interpreter. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, you as well.
Bye.
Bye.
Sir, could you tell me your name? Or ma'am, could you tell me your name?
Ma'am.
It's hard to tell with masks on. Yeah, what's your name?
Oh, Sela
Your full name.
P. Tell, please.
All right, Ms. Tell, you were arrested for possession of methamphetamine and battery. I do find probable cause for your arrest in this matter. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. I will stay bonded the amount of $1,000 on the possession of methamphetamine. You are entitled to a bond on the battery count. State, do you wish to be heard?
No, Your Honor, we just ask that it be reasonable in light of the facts.
Thank you, defense.
Your Honor, we'd be asking for a $500 bond.
I will set bond in the amount of $500 on the battery with the following conditions. You will have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victims. You will maintain separate residences. You may return on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any personal belongings. Do you have any questions? And I will impose a $50 dirt fee, 60 days to pay.
No questions.
Thank you. Sir, could you tell me your name? Could you
Hello.
tell me your name?
James Jones.
Mr. Jones, you were arrested for battery, possession of cocaine, attempting to injure the health of someone else, and smuggling a controlled substance into a detention facility.
Well, what actually happened?
All right, sir, you don't want to tell me what actually happened because you're being recorded and it can be used to get later against you. I'm not going to decide whether you're guilty or not guilty today.
Okay.
I do find that there is probable cause for your arrest in this matter. I'm going to stay bond in the amount of $500 on the battery, $1,000 on the possession of cocaine, $500 on the health violation, and $1,000 on the introducing contraband into the facility. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. There is a $50 application fee. It'll be due within 60 days. Do you have any questions?
Didn't it say touch or strike?
Touch or strike?
Yeah, I just touched first back. They tapped me on the back.
Yeah.
With the battery?
And I will, in addition, if you are able to bond out, I will require that you not return to the scene where this is alleged to have occurred and that you have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victims.
Okay.
Have a good day, sir. Tell me your name. Ms. Daughtry, you were arrested for domestic violence, battery, and tampering with a witness. I do find probable cause for your arrest. I will be setting bond or other conditions of release. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There's a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. State, do you wish to be heard with regard to the conditions of release?
No, Your Honor, we'll leave that to the discretion of the court.
Thank you, defense.
Your Honor, we would ask for a reasonable bond. It looks like he has 2 misdemeanor convictions and no felony convictions, so 1,000 and 500 respectively.
Thank you. I will set bond in the amount of $1,000 on count 1 and $500 on count 2. I will order that you have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim. If you reside in the same household, I will require that you maintain separate residences. If you have personal belongings there, I will permit you to go on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve your personal belongings. And if I did not say so, you will have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim. Do you have any questions?
So,
Thank you. Have a good day. Tell me your name. Mr. Griffin, you were arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I do find probable cause for your arrest in this matter. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There's a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. You are entitled to a bond or other conditions of release. State, do you wish to be heard?
No, Your Honor, we'll leave that to the discretion of the court.
Defense.
Your Honor, we'd ask for a reasonable bond to be set.
I will set bond in this matter in the amount of $2,500 with the following conditions. You will have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim. You will maintain separate residences. You may go on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve your personal belongings if you have any at the residence. Do you have any questions? Thank you. Have a good day. Tell me your name.
Ashley G. Farr.
All right. Ms. Ora, you were arrested for neglect of a child. I do find probable cause for your arrest in this matter. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There is a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. I will be setting bond or other conditions of release since you are entitled to that. Looks like we have somebody that wishes to be heard with regard to this matter. Ma'am, could you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I can't.
Repeat, sorry.
All right. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right. You can put your hand down. What is your name?
Molly Shard Ora.
And Ms. Ora, are you the person that the Department of Children and Families temporarily put the children with?
Yes.
All right. What is it that you wish to tell me?
Well, I don't know if she told, well, you go. They said that she neglected the child.
All right. We're not going to be deciding whether she's guilty or not guilty of the charge today.
Okay.
I'm only deciding whether there is probable cause for her arrest, and I've already decided that.
Okay.
And now I've got to decide upon conditions of release.
Okay. She's a good mother.
All right. And that will be decided probably in another courtroom involving DCF.
Okay.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
So this was just a witness.
Huh?
Was this just a witness?
Yeah, she's a witness. All right, thank you. State, do you wish to be heard with regard to the bond or conditions of release?
Your Honor, no, the state will leave that in your discretion for this, in light of the facts.
Thank you. Defense?
Your Honor, it appears that she has very limited criminal history. It doesn't look like there's any convictions. So we'd be asking for a $1,000 bond.
I will set bond in the amount of $1,000. I am going to order at this time no contact with the alleged victim unless the judge in the dependency court allows visitation. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you very much, and I've already appointed the public defender, right? All right, already appointed the public defender. Have a good day, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, he doesn't qualify for PTR. Do you want him reset to tomorrow?
Let's reset him, please.
All right, he will be reset. All right, and do we know if she's quarantined or just hospital?
As far as I know, the hospital. Usually it'll be reset within 24 hours or released from hospital.
All right.
That's usually what happens.
We'll reset it for tomorrow. I saw this narrative. I think it's missing something. I don't know if it didn't fully print for me, but I'm not finding any PC and would reset for 24 hours for the probable cause for the false imprisonment.
So you want me to go ahead and put no PC for count 2?
Yes, and 24 hours to rectify.
State? Supervisor?
Yeah,
Okay.
state has 24 hours to rectify. All right, thank you. Next. What is your name, ma'am? I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
Cynthia Marie Parsons.
Did you say Cynthia Lee?
Cynthia Marie Parsons.
I can't hear her. Okay. Ma'am, you have been arrested for battery on a person 65 years of age or older. I do find probable cause for your arrest. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There is a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. You are entitled to bond or other conditions of release. And I see that we have someone here that wishes to be heard. Ma'am, could you raise your right hand to be sworn?
That's you, my love.
Other right hand.
I got paralysis in my right hand.
Okay, that's good enough then. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You can put your hand down. Could you tell me your name?
Deborah Cartwright.
You need to speak louder.
Deborah Cartwright.
And Ms. Cartwright, are you the alleged victim?
Yes, I am.
What is it that you wish to tell me?
I just can't have her in my house. She jumped me twice yesterday, and I don't feel safe with her in my house.
All right. Thank you. State, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor. We'll leave that to the discretion of the court.
All right. Defense, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. State, do you wish to be heard with regard to bond or the amount of, or conditions of release?
Your Honor, we just ask that you, no. We'll leave it to the discretion of the court.
All right. Defense?
Your Honor, it appears that she doesn't have any criminal convictions. We'd be asking for a bond of $500.
All right, this is a felony, so I'm not going to set a $500 bond. I will set a bond in the amount of $1,000 with the following conditions. You will have no contact whatsoever with Deborah Cartwright. You will not go within 500 feet of Ms. Cartwright's residence. You will maintain separate residences from Ms. Cartwright. I would permit you to go back to the residence on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve your belongings. Do you have any questions? Ma'am, are there any other conditions that you feel you need to keep you safe?
No, I just don't want her around me. I just don't feel Like I gotta watch my back all the time. She just jumped me yesterday twice. I ain't dealing with that.
All right. Thank you. Well, I've ordered her to stay away. If she comes to your house, don't open the door, call law enforcement, and she'll be arrested.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Do not
Thank
go
you.
within 500 feet.
500 feet.
Okay, and then do you want do not return and maintain?
Yes. Thank you. Tell me your name,
Chardonnay,
your full name.
Apollinaris.
Ms. Apollinaris, you have been charged with battery. I do find probable cause for your arrest in this matter. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There is a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. It looks like you qualify for pretrial release. You're also entitled to monetary bond if you would prefer. I think we have someone that wishes to be heard. Sir, could you raise your right hand to be sworn?
I can be affirmed. I'll affirm.
All right. Do you
Yeah.
solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I affirm.
Could you tell me your name?
Darnell Edwards.
And sir, what is it that you wish to tell me?
That I think she's not a threat to me. I do care and love for her, and I do want her to come back home.
Do you want to live in the same house with her?
Yes.
Are you afraid of her?
No, ma'am.
And if an event such as this happens again, will you call law enforcement?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Thank you. State, do you have any questions?
I have no questions, Your Honor, but there was a child in the residence at the time, so we would ask the court to take that into consideration as well.
All right. Thank you. Defense, do you have any questions?
No additional questions.
All right. Sir, do you believe that your child is in danger from Ms. Apollinaris?
No, absolutely not.
All right. Thank you. State, do you wish to be heard with regard to the amount of bond and the alternative to pretrial release?
No, Your Honor, just that it be reasonable in light of the facts.
All right. Defense?
We'd be asking for pretrial release or $500 in the alternative.
All right. I will authorize your release on pretrial release, or you may post a $500 bond if you wish in the alternative to pretrial release. I will order that you have no hostile contact whatsoever with Mr. Darnell. And when I say no hostile contact, that's what I mean. You may not raise your voice, argue, and certainly you may not touch him without his permission. If you feel yourself getting aggravated or worked up, you need to leave. Do you have any questions?
No.
Sir, do you think there are any other conditions of release that are necessary to ensure that you and your children are safe?
No.
Thank you very much. Do you have any questions, ma'am?
No.
All right, thank you. Sir, could you tell me your name?
Frederick Hyatt.
Mr. Hyatt, you were arrested for battery. I do find probable cause for your arrest in this matter. You do qualify for the services of the public defender, and I will appoint them to represent you. There will be a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. You are entitled to a bond or other conditions of release. State, do you wish to be heard?
Just that the court take into consideration his past history when setting bond, Your Honor.
Thank you. Defense.
Defense would ask for a $500 bond.
State, do you know if the alleged victim of this offense is the same as the alleged, or of the actual victims in the convicted offenses?
I can check right now, Your Honor. Please provide me one moment. There's at least one, Your Honor, that I am able to verify at this time.
All right, thank you.
At least one conviction at this time, Your Honor, that I can verify.
Mr. Hyatt, I will set bond in this matter in the amount of $1,000 with the following conditions. You will have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim. You will not return to the residence, and you will maintain separate residences. If you have personal belongings there, you may return on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve your personal belongings. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Have a good day. Sir, could you tell me your name?
William Hunter Lee.
All right, you need to speak up a little bit, okay?
William Hunter Lee.
All right, Mr. Lean, you were arrested for battery. I do find probable cause for your arrest in this matter. You do qualify for the public defender, so I will appoint them to represent you. There is a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. You qualify for pretrial release, and I believe there is someone that wishes to be heard. Sir, could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you tell me your name?
My name is William Richard Lean. I'm a third.
If you could speak up a little bit, I'm having a hard time hearing
I
you.
apologize. My name is William Richard Lean. I'm the third.
All right, and you are the alleged victim of this incident, if I read this correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what is it that you wish to tell me?
I wish to let you know that I believe my son has a diagnosis for mental illness, DMDD. I believe that he does need some help. I'm just not sure the penal system is the right source.
Do you want him to be able to come back to your home?
I'm comfortable with that at this point in time, ma'am.
All right, you are comfortable.
I am comfortable.
Okay. And are you afraid of him at this point?
Not at this point, ma'am.
Okay. And if something else happens, will you call law enforcement?
It was an altercation that escalated to physical contact, and I believe that by calling law enforcement, it helped to de-escalate it faster.
All right. And if he got violent again, would you call law enforcement to intervene?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. State, do you wish to be heard with regard to bond?
Your Honor,
Or
if I could just-
pretrial release? He qualifies for PTR.
I was going to say, Your Honor, the state would, pretrial release is fine with the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Defense would be asking for pretrial release or in the alternative $500 bond.
All right. Mr. Lean, I will authorize you to be released on pretrial release. If you would prefer not to have pretrial release and prefer to post bond, I will authorize a $500 bond in the alternative. Regardless of whether you're released on pretrial release or bond, you will have no hostile contact with your dad. When I say that, that's what I mean. You can't argue with him, you can't raise your voice, and you have to obey the rules of the house. If you feel yourself getting aggravated, you need to walk away and walk around the block until you calm down. Do you have any questions?
What's the difference between pretrial release and bond?
Pretrial release has, you don't have to put up any money, but it has some conditions. You'll have to check in and they'll make sure you're abiding by the rules. Bond is you have a bondsman that will make sure you come to court. All right? Sir, do you think any other conditions are necessary to ensure that you and your household are safe?
No, Your Honor, I thank you for that.
All right. Is he on any medication that I need to require that he take?
Currently, no. He stopped taking medications quite some time, and all prescriptions are expired.
Okay. Thank you. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day, Mr. Lean, and good luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Could you tell me your name?
My name is Hector Sanchez.
Mr. Sanchez, you were arrested for battery. I do find probable cause for your arrest. You do qualify for the services of the public defender, and I will appoint them to represent you. There is a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. You do not qualify for pretrial release. However, you are entitled to bond or other conditions of release. State, do you wish to be heard?
No, Your Honor, the state would just request that the bond be a reasonable amount considering the facts.
All right, thank you. Defense.
Doesn't appear that he has any criminal convictions. We'd be asking for $500.
All right. I will set bond in the amount of $500 with the following conditions. Sir, you will have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim. You will not return to the residence and you will maintain separate residences. If you have personal belongings there, you may return on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve your belongings. Do you have any questions? Thank you. Have a good day. Could you tell me your name? Mr. Soto, you were arrested for domestic violence battery. I do find probable cause for your arrest.
Correct.
You qualify for the services of the public defender, and I will appoint them to represent you. There's a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. You do not qualify for pretrial release at this point. However, you are entitled to bond or other conditions of release. State, is there anything that you wish to say with regard to the amount of bond or release?
Just that the conditions are reasonable in light of the facts, Your Honor.
Thank you. Defense?
Here, we'd be asking for a $500 bond.
And do the alleged victim and Mr. Soto live at the same address?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
It looks as if they do.
It seems like it. So I guess, maintain separate residence since she's not here to testify as to whether he could come back home.
All right. Mr. Soto, I will set bond in the amount of $500 with the following conditions. You will have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim. You will not return to the residence, and you will maintain a separate residence. If you have personal belongings there, you may return on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve your belongings. I'm also going to require that while you're out on bond, that you consume no alcohol. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
Can you get the attorneys to please announce their name
Oh, okay.
for the record? I guess they didn't get them.
And I do need the attorneys to announce their names again for the record, please.
Wendy Gaskins for the state.
Courtney Daly of the Public Defender's Office.
Thank you. Sir, could you tell me your name? Mr. Wolf, you were arrested for domestic violence battery. I do find probable cause for your arrest in this matter. You do not qualify for the services of the public defender. So I will only temporarily appoint them to represent you in this matter. You qualify for PTR. And so you are entitled to release on PTR or other conditions of release. I think we have somebody here that wants to testify. Ma'am, could you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You can put your hand down. Could you tell me your name?
Dominika Jańczuk.
You're going to have to speak up. I can't hear you.
Dominika Jańczuk.
You try one more time. Get closer to the microphone.
Dominika Jańczuk.
Is there something that you want to tell me? Do you need an interpreter?
No.
All right. What is it that you would like to tell me?
Well, I've never experienced that before, so I don't know. I just want to be here to do best for our family. And my only concern is what's going to happen next. And
And we have a little one at home. I don't want to expose her to any more violence in the house or, fighting. I don't know what my husband is about. Is what he's thinking right now. He's feeling. There is an alcohol issue that needs to be addressed. I'm worried that if we get back to normal house conditions, that this might happen again. Drinking impairs his judgment and becomes irrational. I feel like right now the best thing for us would be, definitely talk and try to, but I don't know if it's a good idea, to expose our child to, any stress that might be, I'm just fearing that I don't know what to expect. And I don't know, what his intentions are moving forward. So I want to protect her, first of all.
All right, thank you. State, any questions?
Your Honor, would you like me to question the witness, or do you have questions?
I have no other questions I was going to ask.
Okay. Has an incident such as this ever happened before?
We had multiple fightings, arguments that escalated, I think, more this time because of the alcohol too. There were similar instances before, and that was also caused by the alcohol and and during,
If it helps your questioning.
it provokes
Hold on a second.
fighting.
Hold on a second. If it helps your questioning, I'm going to order no contact, no return, and no alcohol.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, defense, any questions?
No additional questions.
All right. Sir, I will authorize your release on pretrial release or $500 bond if you prefer. Regardless of whether you're released on pretrial release or bond, you will have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim. You will not return to the residence, and you will maintain a separate residence. If you have, I'm sure you have personal belongings there, you may return on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve your personal belongings. While you're out on bond or pretrial release, you will consume no alcohol. Do you have any questions?
I see my 3-year-old.
If that may be possible at a later time, but that is not going to happen at this point.
Would you
until
allow
conditions of bond are changed.
Okay, I was going to ask if you would allow third-party contact.
Yeah,
for
unfortunately,
purposes of-
third-party contact ends up being contact.
Okay.
And we need to have a more thorough bond hearing before that is actually permitted.
The Honor.
Your Honor, it sounds like the witness would like to be heard. I'm not sure.
All right, ma'am, we are finished and
Okay.
he is gone.
Thank you.
Mr. Cooper's bond, or Ms. Cooper's bonded? All right, thank you. Could you tell me your name?
David Elton DeVello.
Mr. DeBello, you were arrested for grand theft auto. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Bond was set in that case in the amount of $5,000. You are also arrested for possession of cannabis. I do find probable cause for your arrest on that charge, and bond is set in the amount of $250. You do qualify for the services of the public defender. I will appoint them to represent you. There is a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. Do you have any questions?
Your Honor, he wants to know why he doesn't qualify for pretrial release.
Well, let's look and see why he doesn't qualify. Probably the 14 prior felonies, 9 misdemeanors.
I just got out of prison, so.
Yep, that would probably be a good reason that you wouldn't qualify for PTR. Thank you. Philip Francis is in the hospital? Yes, ma'am. All right, he will be reset.
Within 24 hours of release from hospital?
Yeah, within 24 hours of release from the hospital. Yes, Samuel Gentry. He bonded. Okay, great. Uh-huh. He refused.
Your Honor, we can waive this one. It was just for the Dwillis today and the motorcycle
Right, and he
endorsement.
was here previously.
Right.
All right. I will temporarily appoint the public defender. I have reviewed his arrest for driving while license revoked as a subsequent offender, third or subsequent offender, and no vehicle or no motorcycle license. I do find probable cause for his arrest. I will stay bond at the amount presently set in order that he not drive without a valid driver's license. Sir, could you tell me your name? Mr. Schroeder, you were arrested for fleeing or attempting to elude a law enforcement officer, possession of cocaine with intent to sell, resisting without violence, and attempted destruction of evidence. You are in, right now you have no bond on count 1, and you are entitled to bond on that count. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There is a $50 application fee. It will be due within 10 days. Counsel, he does not qualify for PTR. State you wish to be heard with regard to the amount of bond.
No, Your Honor, just that it's reasonable in light of the circumstances.
Thank you, defense.
Your Honor, I would be asking for a $1,000 bond since it was a bicycle.
And there is also, he was out on bond in the amount of $1,000 on a prior DV battery. State you wish to be heard regarding revoking bond on that charge.
We'll leave that to the discretion of the court, Your Honor.
All right, defense.
Your Honor, we would ask that you take no action on this case.
All right. I will set bond in the amount of $1,000 on count 1, stay bond at $15,000 on count 2, and $500 each on counts 3 and 4. I will revoke his bond in 2020 MM 8117, I think it's AW. And he will have to see the judge assigned to that case to get a new bond on that matter.
Your Honor, did you say AW or AO?
Oh, is it AO? I'm sorry.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
I thought it might be an epoxy case.
That's
It's
okay.
AO.
And you said bond at none, correct?
None, yes. Could you tell me your name?
Andrea Sharber.
Ms. Sharber, you were arrested for battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting an officer with violence, and soliciting without a permit. I do find probable cause for your arrest. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There is a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. You do not qualify for PTR. I will stay bond in the amount of $2,500 on the battery on a law enforcement officer, $150 on the resisting with violence, and $100 on the soliciting without a permit. Do you have any questions? Thank you. Have a good day.
I can change of venue.
What?
If I could change of venue. A change of venue.
Where do you want to go?
Anywhere but with you.
Well, have a good day. You won't have me after today.
Thank you.
Could you tell me your name?
Andrew Smith.
Mr. Smith, you were arrested for possession of Xanax and possession of cannabis. I do find probable cause for your arrest in this matter. You do qualify for the public defender, and I will appoint them to represent you. There is a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. I will stay bond in the amount of $1,000 on the Xanax charge and $100 on the cannabis. Do you have any questions?
$200 to get out, right?
That will be between you and a bondsman. All right, thank you. Could you tell me your name?
Williams.
Mr. Williams?
Your Honor, I did not receive a factual basis for the warrant with the burglary with battery and assault. Do you have one?
I do.
Do you have an extra one I could look at?
I don't have an extra, but you can look at this one.
Thank you.
This is actually a warrant I issued. So I found probable cause previously.
Right.
Let me get all of I think I've got 6 here. Yeah, I do. 5 plus an out of county. All right. Mr. Williams, I've got 5 cases plus an out of county warrant. So this will take a minute for me to go through it all. So you were arrested in 2021 MM 860 for resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause for your arrest in the matter and stay bond in the amount of $500. In 2021 CF 1504, you were arrested for grand theft 3rd degree of a motor vehicle. I do find probable cause for your arrest in that matter and stay bond in the amount of $1,000. In 2021 CF 1534, you were arrested for robbery, burglary of a structure with an assault or battery, and grand theft 3rd degree of a motor vehicle. I do find probable cause for your arrest in that matter. Bond was set in the amount of $5,000 on the grand theft of a motor vehicle. You're entitled to a bond on the robbery charge. You are not necessarily entitled to a bond on the burglary with the battery therein. So we'll talk about that in just a moment. Next, you're arrested in 2021 CF 1339 for aggravated stalking and battery. I do find probable cause for your arrest in those matters. You are entitled to a bond with regard to those matters. In 2021 CT 1057, you were arrested for driving while license suspended. I find probable cause for your arrest and stay bond in the amount of $500. And in this out-of-county warrant case, you were arrested for failure to appear for an arraignment in Seminole County on a, looks like a...
Same car that y'all stole.
Yeah. Looks like a motor vehicle charge, and it looks like A $95 bond was set in that matter. So I will appoint the public defender to represent you in the Orange County cases. There's a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. I will temporarily appoint them on the out-of-county warrant. With regard to the ag stalking, battery, robbery, and burglary of a structure with an assault or battery therein, State, do you wish to be heard with regard to the amount of bond?
Just that it be reasonable in light of the circumstances, Your Honor.
Thank you. Defense.
Your Honor, as you previously stated, he's entitled to a bond on the aggravated stalking and the battery. We'd ask that you use your discretion and set a reasonable bond in the burglary of a structure with an assault or a battery.
With regard to the aggravated stalking, I will set a bond in the amount of $1,500. With regard to the battery, I will set bond in the amount of $500. I will order that you have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim.
Chinese Turner.
I'm sorry?
Chinese Turner.
I can't hear you. It's Tynese Turner,
He's
yes.
asking to confirm the identity of the alleged victim.
It is Tynese Turner.
Okay.
Is the name in the warrant. So you will have no contact whatsoever with her. You will not go within 500 feet of her residence. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
She don't even reside at residence anymore.
Like this.
She doesn't stay there anymore. She got evicted.
With regard to the robbery in 2021 CF 1534, I will set a bond in the amount of $10,000 on count one of the robbery in 2021 CF 1534. With regard to the burglary of a structure with an assault or battery therein, I do find that proof of guilt is evident or presumption great. I will set no bond on that count. If you are able to bond on any of these in the future, you will have no contact whatsoever with Ms. Turner. You will not go within 500 feet of her residence. Did I get everything?
Your Honor. The warrant, for 1339 also has a do not return and do not possess firearms on it.
All right.
Did you want that to stand?
Yes, please.
On 1534, it also has a do not return to the scene.
Yes.
With no contact. Okay.
Your Honor, just to clarify, for some reason, I have for 2021 CF 1339, it's the robbery, burglary of a structure with battery, and the grand theft.
It is not.
Okay.
That is 2021 CF 1534. The officer put the same case number on both of them. A new case number had to be assigned to the robbery, burglary of a structure, and grand theft.
Okay. So then, Your Honor, could you repeat the bond amount for those? I apologize.
Madam Clerk?
Or I could grab it from Madam Clerk after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little.
So I won't have to stop.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'll put it to the side. Thank you so much. I'm sorry.
All right, and I'll have it to the side as well because I have to finish it.
Thank you.
Next.
You got one, right?
Tell me your name. Mr. Lopez Ocasio, you were arrested for stalking. I do find probable cause for your arrest in this matter. You do not qualify for pretrial release, but you are entitled to a bond on the stalking charge. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There is a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. State, do you wish to be heard with regard to the amount of bond and conditions of release on the stalking?
Just that it's reasonable in light of the circumstances, Your Honor.
Thank you. Defense.
Your Honor, and we asked for a $500 bond. It doesn't appear he has any criminal convictions.
All right, I will set bond in the amount of $500 on the stalking charge with the following conditions. Sir, you will have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim. You will not go within 500 feet of her or her residence. Do you have any questions? Thank
Did
you.
you want him to fill out a no contact form, or
Yes,
you just
if-
want?
if at all. And I'm going to have him fill out a no contact form.
Okay.
I thought she was printing some. Here, right there. Oh, that's Spanish.
See if he's in this one. I don't know if he's gonna be in here. Maybe. If not, then I'll have to print him one, but I thought I put it in there.
All right, they're going to print one
Yeah.
for him. Ma'am, could you tell me your name? Ms. Smith, you were arrested on an outstanding warrant for failure to appear for arraignment in a misdemeanor petty theft case. A $1,000 bond was set, and that is in 2020 MM 8373. You were also arrested for petty theft in 2021 MM 44. I do find probable cause for your arrest in that matter. A $1,000 bond was set, and it will be stayed at that amount. I will require that if you are released on bond, that you not return to the scene of the offense and you have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victims. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There will be a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. Did you have a question?
What about pretrial release?
You do not qualify for pretrial release. Sir, could you tell me your name? Mr. Baturla, you were arrested on driving while license suspended. I do find probable cause for your arrest. A $500 bond was set on that matter and it will be stayed. Does not appear that he qualifies for PTR.
Oh, no, man, he has an open case.
Does he? Okay,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
don't have that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, they added it on, so that's what she.
All right, what is the open case?
The open case is petty theft of $100 or more. The case number, you want it?
Yes, please.
It's 2020 MM 000922 BW.
All right, thank you. Sir, you do qualify for the services of the public defender. I will appoint them to represent you. There's a $50 application fee that will be due within 60 days. State, do you wish to be heard with regard to the matter of revoking bond in the 2020 MM 922?
No, Your Honor, the state will leave that in your discretion.
All right, thank you. Defense.
Your Honor, we'd ask that you take no action since he just got arrested on driving suspended license. He won't have the ability to fix his driver's license from the inside of the jail if you revoke his bond.
In light of his criminal history, I am going to revoke his bond on the petty theft. I will set bond at no bond until he can see the judge assigned to that case to set a bond if appropriate. Do you have any questions, sir? Could you tell me your name?
Miss, Mr. Candice, how you say Candelero, Michael?
Who?
Bonded, number 30.
Oh, Michael Sedano Calderon?
Yes.
He bonded, okay. What is your name, sir? All right. Before we get to what happened to Calicia Costin. 2100 3136.
funded.
All right, thank you. Mr. Vasili, you have been arrested on a driving while license suspended. I do find probable cause for your arrest. You, bond was set at the amount of $500, and I will stay it at that amount on that charge. You qualify for the public defender. I will appoint them to represent you. There is a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. You are also out on bond on a driving while license revoked as an habitual offender in 2019 CF 16493. State you wish to be heard with regard to revocation of bond in that matter.
No, Your Honor, we'll leave it in your discretion.
Thank you. Defense.
Your Honor, we'd ask you to take no action, so he has the ability to fix his license.
I am going to revoke your bond in 2019 CF 16493 and set no bond. If you do not have the public, do you have an attorney in that case already?
Yes, it appears we represent him. I just pulled up
All
the
right.
case.
The public defender represents you in that matter.
So I got no bond right now?
Yep, you have no bond. Oops, wrong one, sorry. Tell me your name.
Andre Dunan, Your Honor.
Sir, you were arrested for driving while license suspended. I do find probable cause for your arrest. You were also arrested for possession of cannabis. I find probable cause for your arrest in that matter as well. $500 bond is set in the driving while license suspended and a $250 bond on the cannabis charge. You do qualify for the public defender, and I will appoint them to represent you. There is a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. Do you have any questions?
Where'd I go to pay the
The
fee?
bond, you'll have to contact a bondsman, or you can pay a cash bond to the clerk.
Okay.
All right?
Or sorry, I could go to their office, the public defender's office.
Yes, for the PD fee, yes.
All right, thank you. Tell me your name. Mr. Longley, you were arrested for driving under the influence. I do find probable cause for your arrest in this matter. Bond was set in the amount of $500, and I will stay it at that amount in this case, with the added conditions that you not drive without a valid driver's license and you consume no alcohol. You do qualify for the services of the public defender, and I will appoint them to represent you. There's a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. You are currently out on bond on 2019 CT 8691 for another DUI. State, do you wish to be heard with regard to revocation of bond in that matter?
Yes, that is reasonable. We'll leave it in the court's discretion, Your Honor.
Thank you. Defense.
No, Your Honor, we don't want to be heard, but he does have a private attorney on that underlying case, William Heffley.
Yes, I see that. Mr. Longley, I'm going to revoke your bond in the DUI of 2019 CT 8691 and order that you be held at no bond until you can see the judge in that case. Do you have any questions? All right, thank you. Have a good day. Could you tell me your name?
Garrett Mays.
Mr. Mays, you were arrested on an outstanding warrant for failure to appear for a non-jury trial on having a no valid driver's license. A bond in the amount of $2,000 was set by the judge that has that case. Do you already have the public defender in that case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
In the failure to appear?
What?
In the failure to appear?
Yes.
No, it does not appear that he is represented by anybody.
Okay. Then, sir, I will appoint the public defender to represent you in that, in 2020 CT 2470, that older case that you failed to appear in. There is a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. I do know that you are out on bond in 2019 CF looks like 16432. However, it appears that no action was taken at the time that you were originally charged with the operating with no valid driver's license, so I'm going to take no action at this time. If the state feels that the bond needs to be revoked, you need to file a motion with the judge that is assigned to that case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Who did? Okay, thank you. Uh-huh. All right. Yes. All right. We'll reset him for 24 hours following his release.
Who is that?
Barajas Villa. Miguel Angel Barajas Villa.
You say he's in the hospital?
Hospital. What is your name, sir?
Antonio Durrell.
All right, let me find your... Okay, they're out of order. There's Baraja Villa. What happened to Mark Wyndham?
Yeah, that's the one. What you go?
Let's see, it's 2100-3137.
Bonded.
All right, thank you. And what about Ethan Cameron? 2100-3154.
Bonded.
All right. Now I'm caught up. Mr. Durrell, you were arrested for solicitation without a permit and roadway solicitation. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Bond was set in the amount of $250 for the roadway solicitation and $100 on the soliciting without a permit. You qualify for the services of the public defender, and I will appoint them to represent you. There is a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. We have several cases that you are on release for, and we need to address those. Those are 21MM862, you're on release for trespass after warning. 21MM862, which is a battery. And I'm sorry, I'm giving you the wrong case number. 2020MM7632 is the trespass. 2020MM8966 is the battery. 2020 CF6771, which is an armed robbery. State, do you wish to be heard with regard to matter of revoking bond on those cases?
We'll leave that in the discretion of the court, Your Honor.
Thank you. Defense.
One moment. I believe it was a robbery, sudden snatching. I don't know if it was an armed robbery. Let me double check.
Well, let me look it up because this says armed
Or not
robbery.
sudden snatching, I'm sorry. It was a second-degree felony robbery, simple robbery.
Your Honor, I see in my system that it was charged as an F2.
Yeah, I see that. Defense?
Defense would ask that you take no use your discretion to take no action given the ongoing competency proceedings. No adjudication has been made at this point. The NOI has just been raised.
All right, I saw that there were experts appointed. I am going to take no action on the 2 misdemeanor cases. However, on the robbery case, I am going to revoke bond and have him held at no bond until he can see the judge that is assigned to that matter. Sir, do you have any questions? All right, thank you. Have a good day. Sir, could you tell me your name?
Vernon Wade Haynes.
Mr. Haynes, you were arrested for criminal mischief. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Bond is set in the amount of $500. You do qualify for the public defender. I will appoint them to represent you. There is a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, thanks.
Sorry, the state conveyed an offer to me. May I convey it to would you accept an offer in Mr. Haynes' case?
State, have you had victim contact?
The victim in this case, Your Honor, is the state. Oh, no, I apologize, Your Honor. No, I have not had contact.
All right.
I'm sorry, that was the wrong. Never mind. Criminal mischief.
It's okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, could you tell me your name? Mr. Jacobs, you were arrested for resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause for your arrest in this matter. You do qualify for the public defender, and I will appoint them to represent you. There's a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. I will stay bond in the amount of $500.
Your Honor, may defense be heard on bond?
I'm sorry?
May defense be heard?
You may?
Yes. Your Honor, the state's offer in this case is the PTD resisting video, so we'd be asking he be released on his own recognizance so that he could complete the diversion program.
He has outstanding warrant from Virginia.
I don't know, is it whether, it's
I
in-state pickup only.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the state will leave that in your discretion, Your Honor, but I do know that that would be the offer, where it's likely the offer later on.
So you're not making that offer now?
No, if he moves past IA, then it would likely still be the offer based on his history here in Florida.
But you are making the offer of the diversion program now?
Yes, if that is appropriate.
Well, that's your call, that's not my call. So is that the offer?
Based on the state attorney's policy, that's the offer at this time, Your Honor.
All right, then I will release him on his own recognizance to complete the state attorney's diversion program. I will require that that program be completed within 30 days. Sir, could you tell me your name?
Aquavius Luke.
Mr. Luke, you were arrested for resisting an officer without violence and then a city ordinance violation. I find probable cause for the resisting an officer without violence and stay bond at $500. I find no probable cause for count 2, the city ordinance violation. You do qualify for the services of the public defender. I will appoint them to represent you. There is a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. You also qualify for pretrial release. I will authorize your release on pretrial release or bond, whichever you prefer. Pretrial release, are you asking for any conditions?
At your discretion, Your Honor.
All right. State, are you asking for any conditions?
No, Your Honor, we'll leave that in your discretion as well.
All right. Then it will be simply to appear in court.
I didn't hear the amount you said.
500
Is
or,
it 500 per?
no, I found no probable cause on count 2, so he would be ROR'd
Okay.
on count 2.
Okay.
$500 on count 1 or PTR.
Okay.
Do you have any questions, sir? All right, thank you. Have a good day. Sir, could you tell me your name? Mr. McLean, you were arrested for petty theft. I do find probable cause for your arrest in this matter. Bond was set in the amount of $250. You qualify for the services of the public defender. I will appoint them to represent you. There is a $50 application fee. It will be due within 10 days. You are out on bond on 2020 CF 6821 for a petty theft, having 2 prior theft convictions. State, do you wish to be heard with regard to revocation of bond in that case?
We'll leave it in the court's discretion, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. McLean, I am going to revoke your bond in 2020 CF 6821 and order that you be held at no bond on that case until you can see the judge assigned to the case. Do you have any questions?
Yes, ma'am. Bond I just got out on, I was already, it was over a year, and my bondsman died. And so when I went and got discharged, this man, I didn't do nothing. He just.
I'm not going to decide whether you're guilty or not guilty of the new charge.
So I can't bond out?
You cannot bond out, no.
So when I see the judge again?
That will be up to when your public defender files a motion and gets it in front of the judge. Could you tell me your name?
John Joseph Vedder.
Oh, Stefan. Sorry. We got
All right. What happened to Alexis Rentas Rivera? Hospital, all right. She'll be reset within 24 hours of her release from the hospital. Sent Hill bonded. I'll let you catch up.
I know the hospital ones, I have to write.
That bonded. And what about Chanel Santiago? 2100 3134.
Bonded.
Bonded. All right, and you're Mr. Vetter. Mr. Vetter, you were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia and disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Bond was set on the paraphernalia at $500 and disorderly conduct at $250. You do qualify for the public defender, and I will appoint them to represent you. There is a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. Unfortunately, you do not qualify for PTR. Do you have any questions, sir?
I was just wondering if I was gonna get all the water.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I was just wondering if I was gonna get all the water on those.
I will not ROR you at this time.
That's it?
That's it. Thank you.
You said you did both of his counts,
I
right?
did,
Okay.
and I stayed them on both. Could you tell me your name? Mr. White, you were arrested for resisting an officer without violence, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Bond was set initially in the amount of $1,000 on the resisting, $500 on the cannabis, and $1,000 on the paraphernalia. You do qualify for the public defender, and I will appoint them to represent you. There is a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. I'm gonna look and see. I'm going to reduce your bond on the cannabis charge to $100 and on the paraphernalia charge to $100. Do you have any questions? All right, thank you. Have a good day. Could you tell me your name?
Jeffrey Wood.
And Mr. Wood, you are arrested for resisting an officer without violence and battery. I do find probable cause for your arrest in this matter. You do not qualify for the services of the public defender. Bond is set on the resisting charge in the amount of $500 and on the battery in the amount of $100. If you do post bond, I am going to require that you have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim, and I'm going to require that you consume no alcohol. Do you have any questions?
Judge,
Yes.
he has also an open case.
All right, what is that?
It's for active pending pretrial diversion. The case number is 2020 CT 000076AW.
And do you show what the charge is?
It's a DUI, Your Honor. So you added the no alcohol, which is what the state would have requested. And also, Your Honor, in light of the facts, could you also have a no return condition added as well?
All right, it looks like you're out on $500 bond on the 2020 CT 76. I am going to revoke your bond in that case. I will set bond in the amount of $2,000 with the added condition of you will consume no alcohol while out on bond, and you will not drive without a valid driver's license. In 2021 MM 45, I am going to require that you not return to the scene of the event. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You want to add?
Your Honor, did you say a $2,000 bond, that it was the new bond in the revocation?
Yes.
Okay.
You want to add do not drive in the nuisance, right?
Right. It did.
Okay.
All right. Could you tell me your name?
Warren Dallas.
All right, Mr. Dallas, let me get down to your case here. Just give me a minute. Looks like you were arrested on outstanding warrants from Lake County for battery and fleeing and eluding and driving without a valid driver's license. Lake County set no bond on that warrant. I will temporarily appoint the public defender to represent you while you're here in the Orange County Jail. And it looks like these cases are Lake County cases, right?
No.
They're Orange
They are
County cases?
Orange County, yes, they are. All three.
I cannot tell from the information that's been provided whether he has violated a condition of this release by getting the new charges in Lake County. 'cause
Can I
don't
say
have any-
something,
No. because I don't have any narrative, so I'm going to take no action on those.
Can I say something though? 1 minute, Bill?
I've already taken no action on your cases. If you want to say something, you have to understand it's at your own peril.
Pretty much how I would put it.
Tell me your name.
Shanika Hearn.
All right, Ms. Hearns, you were arrested on an out-of-county warrant out of Jackson County, and it looks like it was a warrant for violating your probation, maybe? Let me see. Yes, it was an out-of-county warrant for violating your probation. No bond was set on the warrant. And I've got, it's all one case number. I will temporarily appoint the public defender to represent you while you're in the Orange County Jail. Do you have any questions?
Can you explain more what that means?
That means that right now you're being held on a violation of probation warrant out of Jackson County, and you don't have any bond on the warrant. Okay?
Okay, is there, I know the violation comes because I didn't pay my court fees.
I can't,
You
yeah.
don't want to talk about your violation. You're going to get a few things that can help you communicate with your attorney in that time, okay? We don't want to say anything today.
Okay, so we want to get a few things.
They should see you within the next couple of weeks. Like, within the next week, is that?
Yes,
Thank you, ma'am. Could you tell me your name? Mr. Rowe, you were arrested on an out-of-county warrant out of Monroe County for violating your probation. A $10,000 bond was set on that warrant. Let me see, there may be more than one. Nope, it's all the same one. I will temporarily appoint the public defender to represent you while you're in the Orange County Jail. Do you have any questions?
I was also served
I can't hear you.
I was also served a out-of-state warrant. Do you not have that there?
I do not have that here. All I have is the one from Monroe County.
Well, I have the money to pay that bond, but I wouldn't like to pay that bond and then be held anyway.
You might be I-8 on that tomorrow if she doesn't have it. So I would
Yeah,
just
they
wait
said
till
it-
tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah,
They said if they don't teletype back, then
Right.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Could you tell me your name? Ms. Rivera, you were arrested for battery, I guess after you crossed from the Seminole County line into Orange County. I do find probable cause for your arrest. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There is a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. I will set bond in the amount of $500 with the condition that you have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim. Do y'all live at the same place?
He lives with his mom, but he stays mostly at my place.
I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
He lives with his mom, but he stays mostly at my place usually.
All right. Well, you can have no contact with him, so he cannot stay at your house. All right? Do you have any questions? There is an outstanding Orange County case, 2020 CT 6779, for a DUI. State, do you wish to be heard?
No, Your Honor, we'll leave that in the discretion of the court.
Don't say anything. Your Honor, I would ask that you take no action. It looks like she's on pretrial diversion for that case.
Yeah, probably not anymore.
Right.
Because this will violate your pretrial diversion.
Sometimes they re-refer if that case doesn't go forward, so that's why I ask.
I will take no action on the DUI at this time, but ma'am, I am going to add a condition to your bond. In the other case, it will include that you consume no alcohol.
In the out of bond case?
Yes. No, on the,
on this case?
On this case, yeah.
Did you want to do maintain separate residence too?
Yes. All right, thank you. Could you tell me your name?
Austin McCormick.
All right, Mr. McCrummon. You were arrested for possession of more than 20 grams of cannabis and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for your arrest, 6 counts of possession of drug paraphernalia. With regard to the cannabis count, I'm going to change bond to $1,000. With regard to the 6 possession of paraphernalia counts, going to change those to $100 each. So that'll be a total of $1,600 in bond. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There is a $50 application fee. It will be due within 60 days. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Have a good day. Sir, can you tell me your name? All right. All right, he does not qualify for PTR. Do you want to reset him for tomorrow?
Yes, we'll try one more time.
All right, we'll reset Mr. Triplett for tomorrow. Yes. All right, he'll also be reset for tomorrow. Could you tell me your name? Mr. Jackson, you were arrested for open container and a couple of city ordinance violations. I do find probable cause for your arrest. State, do you have an offer?
No, Your Honor, these are city cases.
Open container is...
It was with OPD. I believe if it's open container and it's Orange County Sheriff's Office, that stops them.
It's been my experience that you can resolve city cases at IAs,
Yeah,
but
me
I'll leave
too.
that okay. If the court's willing to make an offer.
Yeah, I'll leave that in your discretion, Your Honor.
Time served?
Do you need a plea form, Your Honor?
Yes, please. You may want to hand one to Ms. Vargas, too. It'll be time served court box.
I just need
Your Honor.
All right.
Your Honor, normally, does the state provide the offers for these city cases?
Yes.
Okay.
Usually. Y'all have some agreement with the city prosecutor's office or the city attorney's office to do it at IAs.
So at IA, okay, I understand now. Thank you.
If I could have pretrial services tell me how long Mr. Jackson has time served?
I don't have that information.
You don't? Okay, I can figure it out. He was arrested yesterday, so you've got 2 days.
Do we have a case number for this yet?
For
To put on the plea form.
2021 MM 186. Mr. Mr. Jackson, could you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Tell me your name. You can put your hand down. Mr. Jackson, do you want to enter a plea of no contest to open container and the 2 city ordinance violations? Are you entering the plea freely and voluntarily? Did you review this plea form? Did you understand it? And do you understand that by entering this plea, you waive or give up each of those constitutional rights? Then I will accept your plea. I will sentence you to 2 days in the county jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I will impose the statutory court costs of $223. Do you want me to set up a payment plan, or do you want to do that later? All right. How much can you afford to pay per month if I give you 60 days to get back on your feet? I can't hear you. 15?
50.
I think he said 50.
All right, why don't I set it at 30? And if you can pay more, you'll end up paying less clerk fees in the long run. But if you get in a bind, it won't be so much. So I'll order that you pay it at the rate of $30 a month at a minimum. Your first payment will be due within 60 days of today's date. Do you have any questions, sir? All right, you have the right to appeal this judgment and sentence. If you want to appeal, you've got to do it in 30 days in writing. And I'd appoint an attorney to represent you if you couldn't afford one.
Your Honor, is that an adjudication or a withhold?
I'm going to adjudicate.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I don't
Do you have
do
the
these
case
very
number
often.
On this next one for the police. form?
2021 MM187. And again, could you tell me your name?
Carmen Elizabeth Vargas.
Ms. Vargas, you were arrested for open container. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Bond was set at the amount of $250. If you wish to enter a plea, I would offer time served, which would be 2 days. I'm going to take no action on the prostitution. Yeah.
And then, Jackson?
Yeah, I need to sign it.
Yeah, and then you ran hit all 3 counts concurrent, right?
Yep, all
Okay.
3 counts concurrent. Thank you. Ms. Vargas, could you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me your name.
Ma'am?
Tell me your name.
Carmen Elizabeth Vargas.
Ms. Vargas, do you want to enter a plea to open container?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review everything on this plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that by entering this plea, you waive or give up each of the constitutional rights that are listed on this form? Then I will accept your plea to the charge of open container. I will adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the county jail with credit for 2 days' time served, impose court costs in the amount of $223. Do you want me to set a payment plan now, or do you want to do?
I work at Paysetter.
I'm sorry?
I work at Paysetter.
You work at Paysetter?
Yes, ma'am.
So you want to set up a payment plan later with the clerk?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll order that you set a payment plan with the clerk within 60 days of your release, okay? Right? And I am going to take no action on 2020 CF 14550. And I think that will do it. Whew.
What's up?
Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. How long have you worked for the state attorney's office?
Oh, because she ROR because there's no probable cause.
COVID class.
Yeah, for the state misdemeanor, and the other one is
Very prepared in
PTO.
county, but this is a whole different thing.
Yes.
So I appreciate your patience. Oh, this one. I did not forget.
Yeah, because I'm about to work on his stuff now.
I don't think I got all the paperwork. I think that's the issue.
Yeah, he had clarification. So on 21 CF 1504, bond is $1,000.
Oh, yeah, always.
CF.
Have a good one, everyone. You too.
1339.
You got 1504?
Is that the one? I don't have that then.
That's, yeah, so 20, 21.
That's this? That's this one, right?
No, you got like 5 cases. So you looking for, oh, Judge, I need you to sign these. Thank you for signing those down. No, that reminded me.
Sorry.
Judge, I need you to sign those too before you go.
Okay, I will do that.
He has a 2021, he has a 21 CF 1504, grand theft, 3rd degree.
1534, grand theft.
2021. That one was $1,000.
Okay.
And then the only one you said you was missing was 1534?
That's it, because I
Because
thought
he got,
that
let me
the
see,
resisting was
1,
stayed.
2, 3, 4,
The
5,
$95 out of county.
Because he got 6 cases. Yeah.
Let's make sure I have it all.
That's why I was like, go ahead and.
Okay, so we have the warrant.
That's what I thought.
The
Let me just tell you
resisting
he
is
got it.
one. Okay, the aggravated felony, domestic violence, and the battery. That's 1339.
Yes.
Okay, so 1,500 and 500.
Yes.
Respectively. Okay. This is the 2021 1534. I have, that's what I have for the robbery, burglary, the structure.
Yes. The first count is 10,000, the robbery. And then count 2 is none. And then she stayed the bond also on count 3, that's 5,000.
So the other grand theft is,
Which is the first one I gave you, $1,000.
so you charged the grand theft twice?
No, oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he just has a single count of grand theft. And then the case 1534, he has 3 counts, and then that includes the grand theft. Yeah.
Okay.
I know, it's a lot.
That's been Mr. Williams.
Yes,
Yes.
that's the one that I'm
Yeah.
because I didn't have all the paperwork apparently. So
He had a
the
lot.
driving
Yes, he
while
did.
license suspended, she stayed that one. That's the 500.
Yes, 500.
Yeah.
And then the out-of-county warrant was $95. And then the resistant was 500, stayed that as well. And then you have the 13.
Have a good weekend, y'all.
You too, thank you. You have the 1339, 1,500 and 500. You set bond at 1,500.
See, I don't have that one. That's the one.
Yeah, and then the
Because
last.
the one that I have is, see, that's that last one. That's the one. It's 1504 for me, not 1534.
No, you got 2. 1504, yeah. He got a grand theft, that's his new case. New, that's what he got picked up on. That's his new case. She said that for that remained at $1,000 stay.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay, because I wrote 1534. That was a grand theft, and that's
That's the 1534 is the one with 3 counts.
with the 3 counts.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't need this. Okay. Oh Lord, they'll, you know what? Felony.
I know it
figure
just
that
threw you
out.
off because he had grand theft twice. But he picked up that new one. That's the
And that's
new
where he was like, oh, it's the same car they're alleging. Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because I think the other one is a warrant. Yeah, the 1534 is a warrant.
Was a warrant.
But he picked up that new charge. That's a new charge. Alright, I gotta put the bathroom before I say
I know,
anything
me
else,
too. Me too. I'm
'cause
dying.
I'm struggling right now.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Have a great day.
You too.
When you started having that reform here?
What?
You started having that reform here?
Listen, it threw me for a loop. It threw me for a
I
loop.
swear to God, I'm ready to push her down. I'm like, get
Don't make me
here.
laugh. I gotta be. I
Me
cannot
too,
be
but
laughing at you. It threw me off. I didn't know. I just took
You got
it.
some right there.
I don't even know what
When
you're
you did
supposed to do
reform
with
for
it.
how long?
Look, I gotta ask Denise what I'm supposed to do with it if they get a copy downstairs.